Hi students, welcome to the main campus residence hall housing registration tutorial for 2017-2018. First, I want to give you some background information on the main campus residence hall housing registration process. This process will be conducted March 20th to March 28th. All students planning to participate must create a roommate PIN through the Student Housing Gateway. This must be done prior to the housing registration process. It is very important that you do create this roommate PIN because during the registration process, it is designed that one of you will log into the computer and sign up you and your roommate to a room. And how you will do that is by using this roommate PIN. So you would need to create that prior to the day that you're going to sign up for housing. Full occupancy is required to register for a main campus room. That means that if you're signing up for a double room, you need to have a roommate. There are single rooms available in South Ruffier Hall. But most of the spaces available will be double rooms. All spaces in the room must be filled by continuing residential students. Housing registration is conducted each day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Student Housing Gateway. Female students will register from 10 to 1 and male students will register from 1 to 4. Students must use Internet Explorer or Firefox to enable pop-ups in their web browser. So it's very important that you're using either Internet Explorer or Firefox. The Housing Gateway will not work with other web browsers. And you also need to make sure that you enable pop-ups because the computer system does use pop-ups. So if you click on a link and it doesn't take you to the next page, that's because pop-ups are not enabled and you need to enable them in your web browser. Each group will select a designated roommate who will register the group for an assignment. So as I said before, we just need one of you to log into the computer system and sign yourself up and your roommate for next year. The designated roommate must have each student's RMS ID and roommate PIN to complete the registration. Those students who do not have enough roommates to fill a room to full occupancy and do not want to sign up for a single room will submit preferences for housing on a designated date, and the RCL office will then assign the student to a housing space. The first registration day is going to be sophomore room selection for students between 40 to 55 completed credits at the end of the spring semester. They will register on March 20th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. through the Student Housing Gateway. Female students will register from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and male students from 1 to 4 p.m. We have split up the time for registration because it will limit the number of users in the Student Housing Gateway. We have already predetermined which rooms on main campus will be male rooms for next year and what rooms will be female rooms. So female students are not competing with male students for housing spaces. So that's important to note. The designated roommate must have earned between 40 to 55 credits at the conclusion of the spring semester in order to assign themselves and other residential students. Full room occupancy is required to register for main campus rooms. Like I said before, if you want to sign up for a double room, you need to have a roommate. And only continuing residential students can participate. So you have to be a student that's currently living in Longwood housing during the spring semester in order to sign up for next year. The next registration day is for sophomores between 25 to 39 credits. They will register March 21st from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. through the Student Housing Gateway. Female students will register from 10 to 1, male students will register from 1 to 4. So on this day, any student who has between 25 to 39 completed credits can log into the computer system and they will sign themselves up and pull in their roommate. So if I'm a student with 30 credits and I want to live with my roommate who only has 20 completed credits, that's okay. I am the student with 30 credits, I'm logging in today because I fall within the credit range and I can pull in my roommate who has less than 25 credits to be my roommate. As we said before, full occupancy is required to register for the room, and only continuing residential students can participate in the process. The next registration day will be for freshmen, students with 24 or less completed credits. They'll register on March 22nd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. through the Student Housing Gateway. Female students will register from 10 to 1, male students will register from 1 to 4. The designated roommate must have earned 24 or less credits at the conclusion of the semester in order to assign themselves and roommates to the room. So on this day, if you and your roommate both have 24 or less credits, this would be your day to register. Full room occupancy is required to register, and only continuing residential students can sign up on this day. Next, we will have our registration day for those students that want to live in a double room, that don't have a specific roommate. who are freshmen and sophomores. So if you have 55 or less completed credits, your day to register is going to be March 23rd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. On this day, you'll be able to submit building preferences, let us know what buildings you prefer to live in. You can fill out a roommate matching survey, and also let us know what meal plan you want. Then from there, we will go ahead and assign you to a housing space, and we will notify you once you have been assigned through your Longwood email account. The next registration day will be for juniors and seniors, 56 or greater completed credits. They will register on March 27th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. through the Student Housing Gateway. Female students will register from 10 to 1, and male students will register from 1 to 4. So if both you and your roommate have 56 or more credits, this will be your day to register for housing. And you will need to have full occupancy in order to sign up for a double room on main campus. If you're signing up for a single room, obviously you can do that in South Ruffner Hall. And this process is only for continuing residential students. So you have to be somebody who's currently living in Longwood housing during the spring semester in order to sign up for next year. The next registration day will take place on March 28th. This is for our junior or senior residents that don't have a preferred roommate that would like to live in a double room. They will go ahead and log into the Housing Gateway, and they will submit preferences for housing. They will let us know what their preferred buildings are, fill out a roommate matching survey, and also what meal plan they want. Then from there, the RCL office will assign them to a housing space. Once they've been assigned, they will receive an email to their Longwood email account. Some helpful reminders. Double and single room accommodations are available during the main campus registration process. The only hall where students can sign up for a single room is in South Ruffner Hall. None of the other single rooms in the other communities are available to students. Those are reserved for students who have a health need or a disability accommodation. The housing rates for next year are published on the RCO website. Students should discuss these rates with their family or financial provider prior to housing registration. All students that register for housing are signing a legally binding agreement. All students are encouraged to review the published housing terms and conditions. That can be found on the Longwood RCO website. Students can access the Student Housing Gateway through the RCO website or directly at the link provided below. Make sure you have a backup plan. What will you do if your first building choice is no longer available when you register? So for instance, if you have your heart set living in Curry Hall, and you get into the computer system and all the spaces in Curry have been taken up, what is the next building you and your roommate want to sign up for? Discuss that ahead of time so that you're not scrambling around trying to figure out what your roommate wants to do when they might be in class during the time of registration. Make sure you enable pop-ups in your web browser and use Firefox or Internet Explorer. That is really important. Otherwise, the computer system will malfunction on you. Firefox and Internet Explorer are the only two web browsers that the system will work with. And it does use pop-ups, so you just need to make sure you enable pop-ups and that your pop-up blocker is not turned on. The total number of main campus rooms that remain after each registration date will be posted to the RCO website. So what that means is when we finish the first sophomore registration day, prior to the second day's registration, we will post on the RCO website like how many rooms remain in Curry that are male and female, how many in Fraser, how many in Register, how many in Sharp, and so forth. So you can check that the RCO website the evening before your registration date just to get an idea of how much space remains in the building that you may be interested in living in. Any student that requires a health or disability related housing accommodation must apply for these each year. So even if you have that accommodation for this year, you have to resubmit the paperwork for next year in order to be approved for that. And the deadline to apply for that is February 24th.